Rescue workers are still digging through rubble in the hope of finding more survivors in a building collapse at nearby town here in Accra. The 6-story uncompleted structure collapsed early today, destroying other buildings in the vicinity. The rescuers managed to pull out one person, whilst one death has been confirmed. Matilda Womega has more.
The 6-story uncompleted structure, said to be an extension of the Grandview Hotel, is said to have collapsed around 4 a.m. Thursday.
We in Admo had the emergency call around 5 a.m. I got a call from Joy FM around 5:30, by which time our urban search and rescue teams, as 2 teams, are taking off to this scene. And then we send the emergency call to 48 Engineers Regiment for the National Security. We dispatch emergency calls to the National Fire Service, the National Ambulance, who are collaborators in this matter of rescue. So the rescue teams from these agencies assembled here, and by, I suppose, 8 a.m., we have done some rescue of 2 persons who were trapped in the rubble. We lost 1 life. The other life is trying to seek recovery in the hospital. The doctors are working very hard on getting him resuscitated and brought back to life. For us, we're trying to do the movement of the debris. And you can see the kind of congestion we have where the building collapsed. I've been told that it's reached about the 5th or 6th floor for a building which initially was 3 floors. And when we go near from this, I'll show you the joints are weak. The iron rods are not properly woven. This concrete seems better than the Melcom building collapse concrete.
Residents nearby spoke of rumbling, which felt like a downpour. Fozia tells JoyNews she was trapped in a home by the fallen debris.
So traumatic, so traumatic, because I thought I was dying of dust. The dust was so much.
How did they manage to get you out? How did you manage to get out?
Well, they made the first experience from the other window, but because of the rails were so thick for them to break, so they had to use the other window, which they used meshy rails plus the net. So they tore the net and then broke the meshy rails, dismantled everything, and then one of them jumped in, took my daughter out, and then outsiders took the daughter, and then I also climbed on chairs in order to get on top of the cabinet. So when I got to the cabinet, they took.
Authorities spoke about the rescue efforts.
We did our assessment around the building just to make sure the place is safe, to give us the first-hand information. Now, after assessment, what we saw was somebody's hand. We got closer, tried to talk to the person. Because there was a break between we and the person, the communication was not flowing. So what we did was to dig further. So to create a space, we used some of our equipment to lift the slabs. After lifting, then we had access to the guy. We asked some few questions. That's where he told us that there are 2. One is just lying beside him. After bringing him out, we tried to work on the other guy. After retrieving him, we sat down to look at it again.
The Accra mayor, who was at the scene, said there have been attempts to stop the construction because there was no building permits.
It's also important to note, however, that the AMA have always been at work with respect to attempts to stop construction. This particular building, I believe, since 2000 land 2,000 acres was acquired in the year 1970. But since 2001, past mayors and other city authorities have made attempts to stop this particular development. As recently as 12 March 2013, 7 December 2013, and as recently as 26 February, the building inspectors have been at this job. getting this developer to stop developing. But all attempts have always fallen on deaf ears.
Local Government Minister Kwesi Oponfosu conceded there have been some failures on the part of authorities.
Well, as a country, yes, we still go back to law enforcement and the will to insist that people do not break the law. This land, as you rightly been informed, was acquired in the 70s. So where was everybody when the encroachment was going on, when people were building without building permits? It's failure on the part of regulatory bodies and some institutional failures, policy failures. It was a policy to acquire. Then along the line, we couldn't hold together. So for us as a country, it's not a blame game, but we need to insist that we abide by the law.
Though eyewitnesses believe all persons have been accounted for, authorities say they would continue to dig till they reach ground zero, explaining they can't leave anything to chance. Matilda Pomaga for JoyNews, Accra.